Okay. I think everything is now awake and working. Possibly. Computer has been a little bit slow today. At least with some bits, like it still hasn't started the actual stream on Twitch, but I can click and view it working. I mean, I know it's actually running because it does say stream session is going. Can't see anything now. I do love how Twitch always works. Let's just refresh the page. And that should sort it, I hope. It does. Okay. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing today. I forgot I was meant to be live. I like the captions making me sound bad. It's like I forgot I was meant to be alive. So I forgot I was meant to be live. Because I was too busy playing Minecraft like a nerd. So yeah, I'm a little bit stumped on what to do. I mean, I could have carried on playing Minecraft on stream, but on a single player map, when it's just me poking around machinery wise, I might as well play a proper factory game if I was going to do that. And it's too late to even consider starting a factory game at this point, and my brain will just fall apart. I just do not have the energy to start a new factory game right now. So I thought, what else would take all my energy? I know, drawing. Not that I'm sure what to actually draw, though. I have been considering mixing up the model a bit going forward. Because I'm aware that, model at the moment, it's nice. I'm happy that I made it. But it doesn't really scream factory game streamer, does it? Or art streamer. So I've been considering updating the outfit a bit, maybe. Granted, unsure what to do with it really. I've been sort of trying to think, what would work for like factory game thing. Do I give myself like a thing of overalls? I mean, you know what I can do for this? I can, since I have got the Blender reference from when we were making the 3D version, I can probably just use this and draw over. Much like I've done with the belly bit of me, like trying to think about like making a slightly plumper model rather than the skinny one that's been used. Oh, that was me clicking the wrong thing. Nope, do not open that. Yay! Well done, Ginger. You have a sister who survived another year. Do you feel old yet? How do I feel old? My sister's bought a house. And I'm jealous. If it helps, I other than university, when I moved back home after university, and because of how hard it was to find a job, I don't think I left home till I was 27 or 28. Was it? Yeah, it's about 27. I think I left. My God, I've actually. It's been 10 years since I moved. That fucking hell, more than that. Oh, jeez. I keep forgetting how long I've been in this place. I mean, I've been here for the entire of the COVID situation, which is at least 4 years. Well, 3.5. Right, for now, let's remove the belly. Let me find. See, I did make the sensible thing the other day. Of I was actually looking at like steampunky engineering outfit type things. But there's one big problem with steampunk, and I hate it. It's the fact that like 70% of the stuff it's just the same thing. It's the things that people just buy off Amazon and stick together and go, look, it's a steampunk outfit, and it's just a brown shirt, a corset, and a skirt. It's like, okay, yep, it's a good start. I would like to be original. I'd like to get some more interesting ideas to like jog my brain a bit. Can we? Let's face it. This model that we currently have already has half of that. I mean, originally it did have that. I mean, this one. Yes, originally I had the brown shirt and the corset thing and all that. Yeah, the classic model, same sort of skirt, sure. I did prefer the legs that I did on this one. I do like the long stockings. But the problem was I had no booba. We're going to ignore the Ace edit here because I refuse to bow down to Ace and his physics. See, whilst I like the general design of the clothing, I think I went a bit too monotone for a start compared to the OG with like the reds and the browns and all that. This is just like greyish blue. It's a bit dull, let's face it. So I would like to like beef it up a little bit, make it a bit more interesting. So like, let's see, things that I would actually like to do with this. Add more colour. For a start. I would like to make it like more coherent as well in terms of design. Or more thematic, I suppose the word would be, really, isn't it? Nope, that's some weird spell. I'm so used to like just following that around to do an O for drawing now that I can't even write C's anymore. Let's have a quick look at the. Because there are some like nice images to work for. Hang on, let me Right, I've got my line of action window that should work for this. So there's a lot of like just nice in general things. Hang on, let me just make sure we put just in case we scroll down. I just in case we scroll down. I don't trust this. Wait, nope. That's not. Is it? Is it Alt? No. Is it Alt click? Shift? Nope. Shift click is that. Is it Control click? Nope. I could have sworn that there is a way. To mess with the cropping and stuff without having to. I suppose we just put that back down to 0 for now. And I think I need to do the same for the other side. Yeah, so going through these, like, there are some like actual nice designs. Let's take off that as well. Can I do that? And then redo it again. Is it always just going to have stuff like off the side? Just okay. So is it going to have the one thing that should that'll do? That'll do. It's not going to have much hanging off the side, apart from like weird. It's so hard to like. We had to like scroll and make something bigger without messing everything up. Okay, so just to make sure we have safe search on, we should be okay, but I'm not going to scroll down too far because we don't trust this website. So we've got like classic ones that really are just like brown clothes. Brown clothing. It's fine. It's okay. It's adequate. You got something a little bit more like similar to what we have now with the skirt at the top and all that, but it's still an engineer. You've got the thing that I just this is basically every other image. It's just I have a shirt with a corset on, therefore steampunk. I should not gatekeep it because that is what a lot of people start with, and that is fine. It's probably what I would start with if I didn't have, you know, a bunch of things to like do my own stuff eventually. Where's that other one I saw that was like this one? I mean, this one is just this is the kind of like originality that I would love to get for the design I have because it's not original in terms of all the components, but it's one of the few ones that's like within the first like few results. It's like that's different. You got the specific type of hat. I don't know what it's called. The one with the big ear flaps and all that. You got prosthetic arm, very steampunk. It's like even got like chain gears and all that, so it's very steampunky. Boiler on the back to function for the prosthetic. All cool. We've got some that are like I don't know if I'd call that. It's one of those annoying things where people are just like dumped in every single possible search term into the name of the thing on Pinterest. It's like I would go with that being more techie and cyberpunk than steampunk, but that's just me. I mean, something like this would be a bit sort of fairly classic. It doesn't follow the whole corset route. It's like overalls, shirts, goggles. Doable, doable, good. Don't know. Maybe. I mean, how I do goggles 3D. That would be in live 2D. That would be ooh, that would be a chore. That would be a chore and a half. That would because you need to like do the back part of the goggle, like the base part of the goggles that would like just stay on the head as normal. You'd need to do the end bit of the goggles, and then you'd need to do sort of I suppose like the main body of the goggles, like the actual cylinder of it, which would then need to like you need to sort of like do the whole parallax thing with making it so that when your head moves, the furthest part moves more than the middle bit and the back bit, and Life 2D is a pain as it is. I'm not sure how much I want to go into it. I might just work with this as the basis of the 3D model. I mean, you've got like very typical anime girl type things with just giant wrench. Kind of cool, kind of nice. Short haired one as well. So like this might not be that bad either. But then it starts getting into some of like the really odd ones. That's mechanic futuristic cyberpunk. That is not steampunk. It's very, very not steampunk. That if you just change the color of the current outfit and give it a big skirt, it's basically what I've already got in current models. This is one of the big problems that I have with steampunk. It's just finding enough references that you can actually like pick and choose bits that I like from, which is the nature of art. Things like this one up here, I do like the fact that that it's got the whole thing at the skirt at the front as the current model does. I like that, but saying that, is that going to be the best design to go for like trying to keep it on theme? So I want to, if I can, avoid putting a corset on the new model. Not because they're bad, as much as a certain person will keep telling me about. They were only bad for when the people went overboard with them, much like many things. There were some people with corsets that went to the point where they literally would you could put your hands around their waist. They were the extremes. They were not the normal. Corsets, a lot of people wore corsets. Like half of the population of England would wear a corset because that was what underwear was. They might not be professionally tailored to fit their body, but they would wear them. Yeah, then we start getting into some of the more. I don't like to say generic designs because these are things that people have designed and drawn. But some of them just look very just. The only word really is generic, and I hate to use that word. I mean, some things look cool, but that is not an engineer. That is just generic steampunk. That is definitely an engineer. And the thing is, with all of this, I'm not even sure if that's the way I'm going to go with it in the end. Because, like I say, this all started with me watching one specific video where someone brought up a thing that they wish they'd thought of when they first started VTubing. which was how much does the model fit what you do? So, when someone turns up and sees this model on the screen and me playing Dyson Sphere Program, for example, do they match? Not particularly. With art, like I'm doing now, it's fine. You can be very whatever with art. You just clothing would work for that. But when I'd say at least 60% of the stuff that I do is some kind of factory based game, I feel like the model doesn't quite match, really. And granted, whatever redesign is going to happen, it's still going to be like Bat. It's still going to probably have the similar skin tone and hair color and all that. It's just going to be like the big outfit design, and then obviously the body that the outfit has to go on. But yeah, I think I'd definitely keep it for the 3D model. Just because I do not want to touch Live 2D again in my life if I can help it. Unless someone's paying me a lot of money, then I'll quite happily reinstall it and go through it. But yeah, some of these things just don't scream engineer. I mean, even though this says it's like lady engineer, the long coat just doesn't go in my head as this is an engineer person. Maybe when they're off the ship and they're not doing their job, maybe. But when they're doing their job, and I think steampunk engineer, I do think things that are more like. Let's see, is there any? None of these are fitting in my head what I'm thinking of. I mean, obviously, it's something more like that with the overalls. Heavy duty clothing because it's an engineer around steamworks. That stuff, steam. Funnily enough, steam kind of hot. So if some does spray out, you want to make sure you have heavy duty clothing to protect yourself from it. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tough one, really, on what to go with. I mean, like I say, we could go with the whole idea of the overalls. I mean, it could work. I mean, this of course does look more like a red dress than anything, but because I know that like one of the sewing patterns that I've had on my wish list for a while is this sort of like just long sort of engineer coverall type thing. Although getting the right size is going to be a pain. But then, oh, okay, is that? You know what, Journey? As much as I like you for your chill atmosphere, I'm gonna just restart the beeps and the boops. Well, let's just like color it something that's a bit more like close to what we'd actually have. Just so you can like actually see whether it would work color wise as well. Because the big problem I'm getting with this again is it's going to be very monochrome. And do I want to like go the monochrome route again, or do I want to actually put in a bit of effort and like make something a bit more colourful, like the original model, which was reds and browns rather than just blues. And of course, overalls make the hips look really stupid as well when it comes to like something like this. They would simply not fit. They would not go on. So short of like, let's see, if we cut that down so it wasn't actually like over like a full body thing, and it was more like the apron style. So legs go in, and then you put the other bit up around your neck. But then even then, that's still just gonna. I mean, when there's no color, yeah, it's like okay, yeah, that seems like the average thickness of overly thick bat. But when you add clothes, it just with a skirt, it's not so much of a problem. So with a skirt, you're looking at it like draping down, so it's like okay, that kind of works when it's a skirt. Because it's all drapey. That's fine. But when it's not a skirt, it's a bit silly. So I might just end up having to do like a full on like redesign of what I've been working on so far. And having a non thick version. that is a lot less poofy. I think a bit more. Bit more like that, maybe. I mean, it could work. I mean, one benefit about doing overalls when it comes time to doing the actual like clothing on the 3D model, I can select most of the entire of the legs and the body and extrude a bit out, and boom, it's all there ready to go. There's no like intricate details that I'd need to think about. That would be like texture only that we'd need to worry about for that, which I'd be fine. But yes, it's a bit of a tough choice on it, really. I'm also very much realizing I don't think I've made this model sketch underneath symmetrical. Even though I did it using symmetry, things don't seem symmetrical. Well, okay, I didn't do the drawing of the outfit over the top symmetrical, but it seems like there's more of this sticking out than this. And the arm here is a bit more in, so I think I've like shifted something the wrong way. So you know what, never mind, we'll vanish those out the way. And take the titties out of the equation. I mean, it could work. And with a bit of tweaking, it could be like changing to like an artist's smock instead. So when doing art streams, smock version, New Factory Games, engineer version, and then regular version, or just the current model for anything else. But yeah, it is a really tough decision to make, really, and whether it's going to make sense. It's also going to depend on like what are the content I'm planning on doing. Because currently, if you hadn't guessed by the fact that I have barely streamed over the past couple of months, I really have. I've been having difficulty trying to work out what I want to do with the channel. I mean, the first year was wonderful. Had a few like long playing games on there, like Nier and all that, but I've kind of run out of those kind of games that I want to do like a full playthrough of from start to finish. I mean, to be fair, we never even finished Nier or Kingdom Come Deliverance. They're on hiatus for the moment until my brain actually wants to play those games again. But like things like I've done like two full streams of um what's the word, Dyson Sphere program now. Like that's what I say, full playthroughs. Both playthroughs we've kind of got to the point where we're making a Dyson Sphere. We haven't gone out of like the first star system, but honestly, I don't know how much more entertaining it can be. It's just going to be like the same thing again, but new star system. Although we would obviously start with all of the tech unlocked, it'd be kind of more like a new game plus. We could take all the stuff to like start fresh, doing really well. Maybe I don't know. Oh no, Ace is here. Ace is here. She was thicker earlier. You know, if we aren't using the clothing version, she is thicker. But I'm trying to work out what we're doing with her. Oh god, he's been here all this time. See, I need to decide whether I'm going to like. Because obviously, factory games are wonderful. The problem is, there ain't many of them. At least, not many that are good. I mean, I've got plenty of games in my automation slash mining tag in Steam, including things like Gold Rush, which I actually have played quite a bit of because it's sometimes mind numbing. Digging dirt with heavy machinery and making it into gold is it's good for stress relief. Am I ever going to play that on stream? Honestly, probably not, because it's kind of slow and kind of monotonous, and it's very good for turning your brain off. Not really good content. But we've got things like obviously Factorio. We can always go back to that. There's always the space thing that's there. There's obviously the space mod. I still don't know whether I'd ever actually pay for a DLC for Factorio after the stuff that's gone on with Factorio dev being a bit of a meh. Yeah, randomly increasing the price of a game that you've refused to ever put on sale because economy, and then every other indie game in the entire of Steam is just like, no, we're keeping the same price, and then just sort of outright seeming to steal an entire mod as your expansion is a little bit iffy to me. So I don't know if I ever want to like get into the space expansion. Space mod, however, maybe. And of course, there's always the mod runs that we already have with like there's like Crastorio and Bob's Angels and all that sort of stuff that maybe we can go through at some point. And at some point as well, there's always the C block with Sheeper. Uh, when we both want to torture ourselves again, because god damn that is a horrible mod pack, but I'm sure it's a good mod pack once we get into it. But to start off, it's a horrible mod pack. Obviously, we've got Satisfactory, which I've not really done like a big playthrough of because it's like the slower of all of the factory games because you have to walk in like first person. Whereas to walk like a mile in Factorio would probably take you like a minute. To walk a mile in Satisfactory is going to take you a good 10 or 20 minutes. At least until we get vehicles and trains and all that. Dyson Sphere, like I say, I've gone through like 2 runs of that. Do I want to continue a playthrough and do more like star systems? I really don't know. And those are like the 3 main factory games that are around. Tectonica was fine, but it didn't really bring any. Apart from it being underground and it looking pretty, that's all it brought. It didn't bring anything really new to the whole factory game thing. It gave it a little bit more like a quest atmosphere of like go and do this, go and do that, find this place here, and then there's stuff there for you to unlock to make your the rest of your factory better. It was okay. I enjoyed playing it, but eventually it kind of started to taper off and get a little bit unenjoyable. So chances are, unless there's been unless there's a lot more introduced in like the next few updates, we ain't going back to Tectonica. There are a couple of factory games coming out in April. Odd Sparks and Final Factory, which we might do. But if those turn out to be good, that's only going to leave us with like 4 or 5 like factory games, so just like rinse and repeat for the entire of the game, for the entire stream history. So, do I really want to stick around and just do factory games with the occasional art stream, the occasional D&D thing with, well, tabletop RPG design thing with Sheepa? Eventually, when when I can grab him again, when his insomnia isn't stopping him, making him fall asleep at like 10 p.m. And also when we've got some inspiration for it, because we've been lax on it, but it's just because like we've got some ideas, but we just need like the energy to actually go through them. Which that's the pain, is finding the energy and the time to sit down and like hash out some of the ideas. And so this is the problem I've got, is not quite knowing what sort of stuff I want to carry on with streaming. Because I have, like, originally I wanted to do stuff like, I have the sewing machines, I have patterns, I wanted to do sewing stuff and just casually chat whilst we sewed. Yeah, make a nice cape or whatever would be nice. I've got the microscope, so we could have done like nerdy sciencey shit. I mean, the microscope works, I've connected it, it's all good. I haven't thought of what we're going to do with it or how to structure any of those sorts of streams. Is it literally we plug the microscope in and just go through some slides and go, ooh, look, this is cool. Ooh, look, you can see, ooh, that's weird. Ooh. But it's not going to do anything. Unless we kind of like look at like insect body parts and then try and like draw them and incorporate them into creature designs or something. It's not. It's trying to find some way of like mixing it together that's not just going to be low energy low effort content. Because let's face it, if it's just me like sitting there talking to a microphone, just like moving a slide around on a microscope, it's not a lot of effort on my part. So I don't really know if I want to go that route, or whether, like I say, I want to like get a bunch of slides that have got like bits of insects on, or body parts, or antenna and whatever. Bring them up on the screen, get some like proper high detailed imagery, and then try like sketching them, but as a bigger thing. Or like what could the rest of the creature look like if the leg looked like this? Would be cool. Are my art skills currently up to scratch for that? Eh, debatable. I would say no. Some people would say maybe. Other people would say yes, but that's just because they're my friends and they want to make me feel good about myself. I know I have got to get the art skills somehow, and it's going to be practice, but it's that sort of like age old question of, or age old dilemma of, I have a really cool idea. Do I do it now when I'm bad and screw it up? Or do I get better and then do it at a later date TM? And that later date may never turn up. It's like that like one of the things I want to do, like art wise, is I have got that book. It's sitting right in front of me on top of my PC, called Creatures and Characters, or Designing Creatures and Characters, and it is a really well, interestingly laid out book. It's not even an art tutorial book. It's an art challenge book more than anything. So the first one in there is find a skeleton of a creature that you think looks cool. And so like we'll maybe find like a tiger. And it's like, okay, now render the skeleton, draw it out, make it look good, but it's not the photograph you're working from. And then the main step of the challenge is, okay, now from that skeleton, design X number of creatures that would use that same skeleton, but are different creatures. Because it's the book is meant to be for like things like, yeah, if you're gonna ever go into games design, because if you're gonna go into games design, if you've got like one skeleton that's like, oh, why are you not? That's because I'm on the wrong thing. So if you've got like one skeleton that's like that, the more things that you have that can fit that body shape, the less your animators have to work. So it could be that you have like a really, really skinny type thing, or you could have like a really big beefy thing, or one that like has a huge hump on the back for whatever reason, or whatever. And so the point of the whole thing is like designing the characters around, designing the creatures around the skeleton, and then like doing like 10 different versions. And then there's some that are like more character focused, so like draw a pirate captain, and then draw the rest of their crew, which at some point I might be skilled enough to try. I'm not sure if I'm up to that yet, not until I've got better construction with like actual human figures, because I'm still not good with humanoid. I mean, okay, I'm not terrible. Like, I can still like I know the basic layout. I just don't know like the exact proportions properly of like drawing a face with like doing the all the usual stuff that you're meant to do, and like where things go. I'm not that good at that stuff yet. At least I don't feel I am. So I don't want to go for the character stuff, but the creature stuff. Maybe I could start doing stuff like that. In which case, 50-50 doing like factory games and art could work. Which would also mean that, the whole idea of having two costumes, one engineer engineer bat and one artist bat, would work. Quinn, I do want to do a proper Satisfactory thing at some point. Because pretty much every run me and Sheepa have ever done with Satisfactory has ended at the same point, which was we have gotten tired of streaming, we need to stop the stream. That should be linked. It should be linked. Why are you not? It's saying it's connected. Why did I get no huh? Frug is there. See, if I turn it off and turn it back on, Frug is there. See, there it is. So I do not know why Trigger Fire sometimes just doesn't want to actually fire. Let's turn it off and turn it on again. That might work. I've not had my usual tester of like Etty turn up today because I started late. Because this was pretty much just a oops, I forgot to stream. I'd best start, and started like 10, 15, well, about 15, 20 minutes late. And didn't really have a plan, which is why I have mostly been rambling whilst, drawing some very basic overalls on this bitch. I sometimes really don't like the fact that this caption software censors me. But whatever, that's fine. I can probably turn it off somewhere. Also, hello L. And hello G B B B B B B B B. Yes, it really does all like boil down to working out what the hell I'm actually going to be doing with streams going forward. I could see myself going with the whole like half art, half factory, and then the occasional "I like this game, shut up, we're playing it" moment, or a new game has come out, we are planning on playing it together, we're going to stream it, screw the schedule, sort of thing. Like the few times we've done like Helldivers or Christmas streams or whatever. But yeah, like I say, it's one of those. It's hard to sort of sit down and think about like what you want to do, and then try and design a character that would fit the things you're wanting to do. Because like, I don't know like how long Sheepa and Elle have been here for the context of something like I watched something. I watched a YouTube thing the other day where a VTuber had mentioned that something that they wished they'd thought of before they made their characters was how much does that character fit in with the content that they make. Like they'd started off with their character being quite a wholesome, innocent looking, girl character holding a plushie of her dog. And then she asked questions of people, and they were like, "Well, the plushie makes you look really young." And so a lot of her like chat members were like, whenever she did something like she swore or something, her chat members would be like treating her like a child. And so, and if she ever wanted to play a game that was a bit more on the saucy side, or she wanted to stream with people that were a bit more saucy or lewd, her chat would like be a bit too parental with her, and it didn't vibe with her. And it's because of how she designed the character. People came to the stream, saw the character, and expected a certain thing. It's like I was talking to Sheeper about it a couple of days ago. That there's a certain vibe that when you see Fluffy Sheep Boy, just that on its own conjures up certain things you might expect. The same with Seb. If you first go into a Seb stream and you have it muted and you just see the model, you can kind of pick up what kind of stream it's going to be. And Seb has done it. Seb has got their design really well, because you're going to go into a stream with a lewd little bitch, because that is what Seb is. And I don't know whether or not the designs I've had so far have matched the kind of vibe I give off, and it's hard to tell, because obviously at the moment I'm fair. I'm going to say fairly small. I'm very small, so I don't get a lot of input on like, apart from people going, yeah, the model looks cool, or the model looks cute. But these are all people that I've known for years. It's like, are you just saying that, or is it actually a well-designed character, or are you just humouring me because I did it myself? It's hard to judge sometimes. And I am completely rambling about this. It's one of those like, it's been living in my head for the past like couple of days about what the hell am I doing? What are my plans? Speaking of plans, do I want to carry on going for any longer? Because it is like 11:15. I've got a minute to decide, because that's when the ad starts, and I don't want to have an ad and then instantly stop streaming, because that's just rude. Hang on, I can stick a snooze on for 5 minutes. That'll work. So yeah, that's basically been like an hour of me sort of like dumping at existential crisis of what am I even streaming anymore? I do enjoy what I stream. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing it. I enjoy my factory games. I enjoy my art, even if I'm not great at it. I enjoy the random chaos that happens when a bunch of us get together and like play Helldivers or whatever. Whilst I'm being the idiot in the background that's like I'm really really bad at these games, but I can shoot and I have a turret. That's good enough for me. But like I said, is that going to be enough to like get me going? Is that going to be enough to keep me going forward? It's like I can definitely say it because I just saw like the viewer number popped up and then about 20 seconds later the viewer number went down again. So obviously people are coming in with expectations of what's going on, and I'm obviously not matching what people are coming in for. I mean, honestly, it could be the goddamn voice that I've been trying to work on. It could be that that's the biggest problem that I've got. Yeah, they see feminine model, they turn up, they think, wonderful, it's fine. And then I still have my shitty old voice that I haven't been able to, like, sort out properly yet. Mainly because not putting in the practice, but, that's just me procrastinating, and it's not like I've had years to do this. But it could just be Twitch being weird, because Twitch sometimes does that with viewer counts. It could make no difference. But I am getting a bit too rambly now, so I think I probably will end up stopping the stream. I mean, the idea of like, I mean, went through like a few of the ideas for like a steampunky factory idea, and a lot of them just they look cool or they look nice, but they don't actually look like someone that would be an engineer in a steampunk ship or factory. They look like someone that's gone, I like these clothes, I'm going to put them together and then put some goggles on and hold a wrench. Which is fair enough for cosplay. Not so much for trying to do a proper design, really. But I'm going to stop rambling. I'm probably not. I'll probably put this VOD up onto YouTube, but I'm probably not going to put it as public because, like I say, this has just mostly been me just rambling. Maybe I'll put it up. I don't know. Maybe someone will care. But for the most part, this has just been me talking to myself, trying to like figure out what the hell I'm doing in my head. But before we get onto any more random tangents or anything like that, let's have a look. Is there anyone online? It's going to be Stars, isn't it? Oh, what a surprise! It's Stars. They're online. Who could have possibly guessed that it's always Stars online at this time of night? Well, we'll raid Stars because, it's the only person I know who's on right now. And Stars is a good bean. Deserves to get some like more viewers. So until next time, which could be, quite frankly, I have no idea. Anytime might be Sunday, tomorrow evening. I do have plans. Those plans are to watch Sheepa and Finn on Yakuza Friday. Go to twitch.bushipa thingy, whatever. Twitch.tv/Rushipa. There you go. I'm already falling asleep. Can't even remember how a link, how a Twitch URL thingy looks. Saturday, as far as I know, it's a D&D day. So I may or may not have the energy after that to do a stream. So it might be Sunday night. But there's also a thing on Sunday with Jackbox and stuff that's not streamed that might take all my social battery away. I don't know yet. I'm going to have to see what happens. But chances are next one, if it's going to be any time this week, it'll be Sunday. So until then, I'm going to click raid. And as always, thank you for watching. And thank you for listening to me ramble for an hour on my existence as a streamer and possible redesigns. Until next time, thank you for watching. Say hello to stars for me. Oh, bye-bye.